Hello survivors and welcome to another beta. In today's video we're going to look at the brand new map that has dropped for us on the beta. What's the word I'm looking for over here? Spoilers one, but also just a disclaimer. That's what I was looking for. This is the beta, of course, so there will be a bug or two that we see. But anyway, let's get straight into it. Yggdrasil tree, this is what we're going for. Crit, movement speed, damage, our whole tree on the left side of exploration is maxed out. And we are going to be playing on Axeldor because we haven't finished it on him with his Stormbringer's axes. So here's Vanaheim, again not completed on Axeldor, but let's get into it. Thank goodness for the latest update besides for the beta, so not last week's actually. I think it was either last week's or the weeks before that we spoke about. You no longer have to finish normal on its own first, and then hard, and then expert. If you have finished at least one of the levels on expert, you will be able to start any of the other levels on expert, which is fantastic. Saves a lot of time when you are playing the new areas. However, the reason people used to do the whole run normal up to expert first was because the enemies have less attacks on normal. So if you are struggling with the game, I would suggest play on hard or on normal just so you can get used to what the bosses or the enemies attacks are at first, and then on hard he upgrades and gets newer attacks, and then on expert they get even more harder attacks to work through. So that was the whole point of doing the normal, hard, and then expert runs. It was because it was supposed to show you how the bosses work and get used to them slowly but surely. And this seems like a ridiculous run over here. We haven't had any resets on our ascension crystals in such a long time, and on the new map in the beta we just got a triple ascension once off on Axeldor first try, so that is really cool for us. And we got electric cage, which is fantastic for our axes because obviously our axes do land up doing electric damage. So really cool to get that as a first upgrade, and really nice over here for us to be working on this. Now with the axes, again, you do want to have at least a minimum 7, well, I mean you can have less, you can have 2 or 3 projectiles, but for comfort the best stat to roll is damage, duration, and projectiles. So if you can roll as many projectiles as possible, you are going to be in a fantastic spot. We do need that extra damage though, so I am going to be going for it, re-rolling for it. And now some really cool things about the map, so let's start appreciating that since I've been talking so much about Axeldor and the whole normal, hard, and expert. Firstly, we got the elemental map, Vanaheim. It is the elemental realm is the words I'm actually supposed to be saying. So why I call it the elemental realm is, well, every single enemy is an elemental. We got wind elementals, wood elementals, and air, what was it, wind, air, was it air? Wind, water, sorry. So wind, water, and wood elementals. So the water elemental being there, wind is the yellow dudes, and then wood comes a little bit later in the game. However, because it is the elemental realm and we've got wind, water, and wood, we've also got some haphazards on the map that we don't have on other maps. Those would be, like you saw earlier, that little bit of a wind tunnel that spawns every so often. The elementals themselves are the ones that spawned it. Excuse me, the elites are the ones that spawned it, as you saw there. We had the wind spawn as well as the earth elemental spawn these plants, which then will damage you. So we had that happen to us. A really interesting addition to the maps. It would be nice to see something similar occur on the other maps as well, like Alfarm have poison elementals or poison traps added to it, because Alfarm feels like being all mushroomy and woody, that it could have like poisonous mushrooms on the floor that if you step on, you take poison or you take damage. You could have something like that, or Jotunheim having ice traps. It would be really cool to see that in the game as an addition you know, maybe down the line or in the future. So, you know, just my 10 cents on that. It would be cool to see it added to the other areas. So the new elites are really, really cool. The first one, we'll talk about it when we get to him, but he is really, really interesting. Hopefully we don't kill him too quickly so that what he does actually occurs. But otherwise, you know, you're going to have to just trust me on what I say happens and just have to try and experience it for yourself. The second elite that happens, you want to try and kill them as quickly as possible because they are quite painful, but you will get to that as well. And then let's just take a moment to just appreciate the actual map. So firstly, we get these statues, which are of the elemental gods, I guess we could call, in the game. And they are the ones that we are hopefully going to be able to kill. So I do think this is the actual, you know, spoilers, the final boss that we fight. So it's really cool to see that there is a statue of him. So a little bit of a spoiler there. Just take note of it when you are playing the game. I do think that is the boss of the map. So that is, you know, the guy that we get to fight, which is really, really cool that they put it there like a little Easter egg, like, hey, this is the guy you're going to be fighting. I'm not 100% sure who this or what this statue is over here. Here's the wind. As you can see, it allows us to move at extremely fast rates. If you move into the opposite direction of the wind, it does obviously stop you from moving, so you kind of land up sliding on the floor absolutely nowhere. It stops the character's animation, which I find actually very, very funny, and you don't land up moving at all. So if a wind blast occurs in the opposite direction, as you can see, our moving animation stops, but we still slightly slide in the direction we are moving. Very funny to do. We are a slider. Oh, it happened again, but let's go fast movement. It can, it's very nice in terms of, oh, we get to move very fast in a certain direction, but at the same time, if there is an enemy right in front of you, like an elite, or if when Ragnarok occurs on this map and you have a really dangerous boss or elite there, you could cause yourself a lot of trouble by taking that nice movement speed in a certain direction. So it could actually get you killed if you aren't careful. But we are being very careful this run. Also, the axes just absolutely obliterate everything. So we took this, we wanted to show the actual map itself and all of the bosses as well as elites. So we weren't worried about what our damage was. We wanted to cheese it just a little bit by playing with Axeldor. Let's go grab all these potions so that we are able to get our life back. We do have 3 levels in our overhealing in the tree, so that allows us to have 4 blue hearts on our character, which means that we can grab, you know, another pot and a half of healing. So there we go. There's 1 pot and here's half a pot. Perfect. So we are on max life now. We do have 18 skill points. I don't think we even need to use any other ascension crystals. It would be very interesting if we landed up getting the damage enhancer, or even the area enhancer will be very nice, because we are going to have 3 ascension crystals that we don't need to use. So that's going to be a huge amount of damage boost if we do find one. They are legendary relics that were added to the game, so they are very, very difficult to find. We got to be very, very, very lucky, but maybe because it's the beta and the new map, we're going to have some insane RNG. We do have enough gold to refresh the shop a couple of times to find it, but we'll see what we can get. But yes, otherwise, I actually stumbled across something on Steam earlier today, but just keep your eyes open for future videos or for some videos happening this weekend. I got to play it a bit just to unlock some stuff, make myself look cool in the game, and then we will take a look at that as well. So it's either going to happen on Saturday, because I don't really have anything for Soulstone Survivors Silly Saturday. No thoughts have come to my mind, so I don't mind if we this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, show some newer games. But before that, here is Fenrir, the god. As you can see, there are going to be some I did not even focus over there. He summons these swords that follow you, as well as this boar. Now, the bug that we spoke about earlier, or one of the bugs, is that this boar stays on the map, as you can see, even after we have killed the boss. And that little, what's the word I'm looking for? That elite skull bugs out on the map now. So I hope, ooh, man, it's not an enhance, but we got ourselves a connect. Now, unfortunately, it landed up on our dear friend Axeldor, who the only thing you can use it for is Berserk and Fury. We're going to grab it because, you know, it's not every day you get a connect on Axeldor and get to run both of his, you know, those buffs. So we're going to grab it. We did pick up a mirror as well as a gold, so we do have a little bit more to roll over here, which is actually really nice. We can grab ourselves the RNG tonic, which gave us a horrible stat, so that's not the end of the world. But that's the last reroll we can do, hoping for a legendary, and unfortunately we didn't get one. So we'll take a chest and we will take the damage, and we're gonna go and grab ourselves both of the skills now. So we got ourselves connect. What it does, I did show in a previous video, the link will be down in the description, but the connect allows us to get both of the skills that are connected via the dotted lines, which is really fun and very cool to have. We're going to grab that, max movement speed as well, and then we'll just fully level the ultimate as well. Ooh, we got a nice damage roll there, so that's fantastic. We're going to have quite a decent loadout for our character, and we are just really strong here. So if we do land up getting hit, it's actually nice damage for us, because, you know, that's how Axeldor works. And we're just going to see what we've got going on for us over here. My mind has like a terrible case of ADHD, so I can be talking about something and 5 seconds later completely forget what it was that I was talking about and land up talking about something else. So if you notice that and you're like, you know, Broken, what is it that you were actually talking about? Could you maybe finish your thought? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'm sure I can try and remember what it was that I was talking about. Just, you know, post a timestamp of what it was or when it was that I was saying what I was saying, and I can try and remember what it was that I was trying to say in that time before I got distracted by something different or something beautiful in the game. So it does happen quite often to me, unfortunately. Another thing that happens to me, I don't know if this happens to anyone else, again you can let me know down in the comments, but what I land up doing is I land up, so the way that it works is when you are thinking, you land up speaking as you're thinking, or a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll think about something, they'll create or make the sentence in their mind before they speak it, and in this case, because my videos aren't scripted, I just land up talking about random things or things that at that moment catch my attention. Of course, at the time it will be either like the area, so in this case it's the actual map Vanaheim, which is new, so new things to talk about there. But along the way something might catch my eye that wasn't in my mind at the time, so my mind's like, hey, you need to speak about that. And immediately I start saying a sentence that I haven't put any thought into, and half the time words just come out of my mind or out of my mouth that I didn't even realize I was saying half of the time. So a very interesting way that I work. I'm very curious to know if this happens to other people as well. You know, do you just land up randomly speaking about something? I'm sure it's got to do a lot with like ADHD and things like that, but in terms of anything else, you know, it's just really funny. And what makes it worse is probably the fact that I know I am doing it and I can't, well, I mean, I probably could stop myself, but otherwise I don't know. I don't know if I can or can't stop myself. I probably could if I just like slowed down took a little bit of a chill pill, and just concentrated on one thing and focus on what it is that I'm speaking about. But otherwise, I'm just like a loose cannon, and I don't know, it's part of me, part of my personality, so I don't know if it is something that I want to get rid of or change. But anyway, previously, remember, I did mention that there was a bug in the game that when that elite did die, or the first boss dies, it leaves this elite skull on the map. Apparently, it is happening on other maps during the beta as well. Again, it's just a visual bug, so it's not like I'm getting hurt by anything over here where the elite's supposed to be or anything like that. So at least we don't have to really necessarily worry about it, but it does get you excited. You're like, oh wait, there's an elite there, there could be XP. Sorry guys, there's nothing there for you. Just so you know, if it ain't moving, it ain't there. So just something to know about the beta if you are playing it, or if it does happen to you in the game. Nothing to worry about, just a visual glitch. Alright, so we nearly on the third wave. We are getting there very, very well. Very exciting stuff, guys. Again, you know, we really got to just appreciate the artwork. We got to appreciate the animations that the developers put in this. You know, we're just going to reiterate here that this is a 3-man development team, and every week there have been consistent updates in the game, consistently adding brand new things to the game, new relics, new characters. I mean, it is insane the amount of work that they are putting in this. The developers are loving what they're doing, hopefully. You know, they're not overworking themselves. We don't want that. Burnout is a real thing, and it really, really can be horrible to get. But the fact that they are working so hard, look, they do fix their bugs within a day. If it is like a really hectic bug, then, you know, the next day it does get fixed. But otherwise they wait a week for, you know, non-essential bugs, or can take a couple of days. Like this elite bug that we got currently over here, it wouldn't phase anyone if it took them till next week, or if it only got fixed when the beta was over. So, you know, we got to understand things like that as well. Priority needs to come into it. So here's the next boss. What she does is summons those wood elemental sparks, as well as these sparks over here, which go in different directions. So there we go. That's cool. That was actually very lucky. Her other attack is to spawn these plants in the... Ooh, that's cool. I haven't seen that attack before. And then her other attack, she spawns plants that then fire in multiple directions, and you then got to kind of just dodge all of those. So I don't like that attack, but those other two attacks are quite easy to dodge, and therefore I don't mind them because, you know, I get to dodge them quite easily. Again, looking for some really good luck over here. Hopefully we can reset into a legendary. I'm not seeing any. We do have a discount coupon over here, and we could go lightning to poison, but yeah, we might as well. Why not? And then we're going to grab ourselves another chest over there, just because it gives us the extra. We'll go for projectiles, I guess. So unlucky for us, nothing major that we could show in terms of the actual enhancers. So maybe we'll pick up another. Well, we don't even need another skill. I mean, look at our axes just completely obliterating absolutely everything in its path. So one of the things I love the most about Axeldor is he does have this, you know, his axes are just extremely overpowered. The reason that they're overpowered, and I don't think I've mentioned this before, but even if I have, I'm going to mention it again in case you didn't really watch that video all the way, or in case, you know, you skipped over it or didn't remember it. But the reason that Axeldor's axes are a lot stronger than any of the other relics is if you take a look when it's hitting an enemy. One axe hits a single enemy multiple times. Now, this isn't something that any of the other weapons do. Obviously, poison does damage multiple times to a single enemy because, you know, they get poisoned. But the axes themselves are physical, well, actually, they're electric damage. But they hit, a single axe can hit an enemy multiple times. Now, because that's a thing, getting yourself projectile speed isn't actually a good idea. I don't think you want to work on projectile speed with it. You don't want them to move faster. You actually want them to move slower. So there is actually something with missing. When you roll missing, he does get a negative stat. Now, one of those negative stats can be projectile speed. So if you can get a negative, well, you won't go into a negative projectile speed, so they won't travel backwards. That would be cool if that could happen. But one of the things is you have less projectile speed than you usually have, and you can roll the axes at the same exact time. And then you got a combination of these slow axes and a combination of them being able to hit multiple enemies multiple times. So that will actually increase their DPS through the roof. So their actual DPS number isn't going to be accurate in terms of, oh, they only do, in this case, 84 damage. That's actually, they're dealing like a 200 damage to an enemy because they are hitting it multiple times. So very interesting little bit of trivia over there in the game and how something works that maybe you didn't really know about. Anyway, we're gonna go and grab all of this gold on the floor over here for us. We've got enough gold to go and grab the other gold relic as well. I don't remember what it was that was in there, so let's go have a look. We got ourselves 25% extra damage over here. Fantastic. So that one's actually a new relic. We didn't see it previously. I mean shrine, not relic. The relic itself isn't new. The shrine was new because it spawns after the boss. And let's see what we can get out of this chest. That's great for us. More damage. That's fantastic. And the last boss is actually really cool. I really love his design. I know that Axeldor, one of the developers, no, that's not his real name. It's the name he's got on the Discord server. But Axeldor, I guess we can call him the head developer. We'll go with that. Actually develops the boss. I guess he developed the boss fight and what the boss decided on the actual boss animations and what he does. And I really like the new boss and his attacks. I think it is so cool. The only thing I do not like is the fact that he has phases again, and the awesome attacks he has is during his phases. I understand the reason for the phases, but I honestly think if we could maybe give the bosses more, like maybe armor, or give them more HP or something, that we can maybe rid ourselves of the phases. Or, you know, make it so that when he gets to a specific amount of health, he heals up some of his life. Or, you know, maybe there's another way. You can let me know down in the comments if it's not about the other things we have discussed. Let me know down in the comments what you think we could add that isn't a phased boss, but a design that we could make that would make it a lot better. So this is his attacks. You have to keep moving in this boss fight. They've made it very difficult for someone to just stand still. That was his first phase. Again, like I said, it is a phased fight. And his next phase, it becomes a movement. He goes in different directions, so either left to right or clockwise and then counterclockwise. It's random. You're not going to know. It can change at any time. And that fight is just amazing. And as you can see, we got 9 free leaves just like that. 9 free extra leaves. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe survivors. Until next time, cheers.